Thanks for listening. This podcast is proudly brought to you by OG Haulage. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share it with a mate.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Don't be afraid. We're easy.
I'm born ready.
All right, welcome to Get Outdoors, Drew and Cam.
We're back again for another week.
Mate, we don't have much to talk about this week,
No, we don't.
so I thought I'd bring in Carley.
Thank you, Carley.
Welcome to the show, Carley.
Thanks for having me.
Excellent. It's, this weather's been a cracker,
As per normal.
as per normal. Being an outdoor show, we get a bit of an ambient every now and then,
It's rain on a tin roof.
and it's Melbourne.
Yeah, that's it. Don't like it. Wait a
Still
minute.
35 degrees.
Yeah, that's
Still,
Well, it's close. It's pretty warm.
I thought it would have dropped by now.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome to the show, Carley.
Thanks.
I was advised that you like to partake in some forms of extreme sport.
I don't mind it.
Let's
Yeah.
start at the start. What was your first pushy?
Well, when I was young, which was a very long time ago, teenager, I guess, what you would say, that
Yep.
was your form of transport back then.
100% it
Yeah,
was.
Yep.
You know, if you had, I was brought up by my grandmother, and even though she would drive me places, most of the time it was like, well, you can get there. You know, there was no pandering to my needs.
2 feet heartbeat.
Yep.
Yep.
So tennis training, jumped on the pushy,
Yep.
rode to training, did an hour, rode back. If I wanted to go to my friend's house, jump on your bike. That was it, right?
That's also the days where we knew all our neighbours and kids lived
Yep.
in the area and
Yep.
And
Yep.
home before the street lights are on.
Yes.
Yep.
Exactly right.
dead set.
So that was the start of it. And then, you know, I think sometimes if I didn't have anything to do, I'd just jump on it and go for a bit of a ride. I grew up like in Vermont, so it wasn't too far that you could just go down to that little trail and you could go all the way through to like Bayswater.
Along
You could follow
Dandenong
Dandenong Creek.
Creek, yeah.
So
Cam
just,
and I both grew up in the
Yeah.
eastern suburbs
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
So
just went for a bit of a ride then. And then even when I got a bit older and we used to hang out with mates, like we've got great stories of friends used to dink us, and
Yep.
it was always the bikes that would get us there.
That's
So
it.
That
Oh.
was...
I was a little bit spoiled. I grew up in the basin, so after school, me and a group of mates would just disappear off into the hills on the mountain bikes.
Yep.
And we were gone for hours.
Yep.
Aye.
Yep. It was your form of transport and your freedom. I
it
guess.
was. Yep.
Yep.
That would have been back in the days of H.E. Parker for the big bike jumps that were down there too.
Yes. Well, back
Yeah.
then I wasn't doing jumps or anything like that. I
Yep.
just had I don't even know what my bike was. It wasn't bad, but it was just your standard,
Teenager transport.
no suspension. Because I could handle it back then.
Yep.
When you're young, you know, you can, you don't feel it as much as
Yeah.
when you get a bit older.
Absolutely.
So when you say suspension, are you a hardtail? Are you a downhill enduro style bike?
Now,
Yeah.
I'm on a full suspension, and I know you're going to love this, pedal assist e-bike. Like, I'm not afraid to say I'm
Yep,
44,
yep.
right?
Thanks for joining us, Carley. We're done here, mate. Nah, go ahead.
I do need to
No, the pedal
elaborate
assist.
on e-bike because we're not talking about the ones that are causing issues at the moment.
Yep.
Mine doesn't have a throttle.
You're not doing monos down the Monash.
No, it doesn't go that fast. I wish it could, but it only goes as fast as I pedal it.
Yep.
Essentially, the way that an e-bike like that works, well, they all have different speeds. Some have 3 or 5. Mine has eco, trail, and boost.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
3 speeds. You generally, on your eco, you like 2 times your own power. So 2 times your own body
Generated
power,
speed.
generated speed.
Yep.
I never ride on eco. It's
Yep.
not worth it because my bike is...
You've paid for it. You may as well use it.
Yeah, it wasn't bloody cheap. But it is 4 years old.
Yep.
So the technology has changed. So my bike is about 23 kilos. If you've got a normal analog bike, what we call it, you're probably 10 kilos and under.
Yeah.
So e-bikes
Wow.
are real heavy. So if you're trying to push it when it's not on, it's really hard.
Yep.
So even on eco, to me,
Yep.
I'm like, nah, it's too much.
You have a battery and all that with it?
Yep.
It's all
so
built in, isn't
it's
it?
in the down tube.
Okay.
Again, my bike's pretty old technology-wise, so the battery for mine is 6 kilos.
Okay.
Whereas nowadays, they're 3 and under.
I was going to say, is yours lithium or?
Yeah.
So it's a
Couple of
nowadays-
energizers in the back pocket.
Yeah,
Top it up.
100%.
They're about this big.
Yeah, so
people
about-
can't see
what's
that.
Give or
So
take
about
about 500 long.
500,
Yeah.
600 mil.
Yep.
Yeah, probably more. I'm going to go 45,
Yep.
like in the down tube kind
Okay.
of thing.
Yep.
But, and like, you know.
100 mil around or whatever.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
So your mid-range, so the trail, if I put it in trail, you're looking at about 3 or 4 times your normal. It's not too bad.
Wow.
And boost is pretty good, I have to admit. Boost,
Just
you get a
sneaking up behind your mate, just want to get around him.
bit. Yep.
Yep.
And, you know, again, technology, there's some bikes on the market now where I've test-ridden a couple and I didn't want to get back on my bike.
Wow.
They're,
Okay.
they're so good.
Yeah.
Just in terms of, I've got kids. I don't have a lot of time. I work a full-time job.
Yep.
I've got other hobbies as well.
Yep.
And when you want to get out for a ride, even though you're not out for as long because it's quicker, probably go twice the distance that I normally would.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
adding that extra distance because of the ease that it's
Yep.
allowing you to have.
Yep.
Makes
Yep.
sense.
so
So it's a bit like steroids in the bike world.
a little bit.
Just gives you a bit extra.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or is
But-
it like a Tesla on the freeway?
This is the thing. It doesn't come for free,
No,
right?
it doesn't.
No.
You know,
That's right.
there's been days where I've done 40Ks, and 40Ks on a mountain bike is very different to 40Ks on a road bike.
Yep.
Like, I've done 100Ks on a road bike.
Yeah.
Not saying that's easy, but
Yep.
it's very different. 40Ks of up and down,
Enduro style stuff.
oh, it is, you know, when you go gravity, your whole body, you're off the seat the whole time. Your forearms, your core,
Core
your
strength.
back, your shoulders, everything is holding on to that bike for
Yep.
dear life.
Yep.
Because if you let go,
The back wheel's trying to
oh,
overtake the front wheel. And,
it is not going to be fun.
yeah.
So yeah, it allows me personally. I think we touched on before we started. I have arthritis.
Yep.
There's lots of different types. This is psoriatic, so it just hits any part of my body it feels like at any time, which is generally the bigger joints, so knees, ankles, wrists, back,
Yep.
and my fingers a little bit. But I have had surgery on one of my knees. The other one's probably heading towards that too. But if I didn't have a pedal assist bike,
You wouldn't be
I
able to
wouldn't
get
ride.
out. Yep, that's right.
and I wouldn't be able to get out.
And it's the one thing that you enjoy, so you've adapted
I
to
love
what
it.
you need to get out.
Love it.
Yep.
And you know what? It also opens up the sport to a lot of people who aren't fit to start with. I mean, let's be honest, we're not all athletes.
Oh, far from.
Far from.
Yep.
I'm just thinking back to the last episode, you talking about your hike.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not an athlete by any way, shape or
Cam
form.
went and hiked from
Wingan Inlet to Malakuta over 3 days.
Oh my God.
60k
Up the coast,
hike.
63 Ks, carrying 23 kilos on my back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And almost ran out of water day one.
And the whole athletes bit, him trying to be an athlete,
I'm not.
bit him in the ass big time.
Yep. But that's the thing, right? You don't have to be an athlete.
No.
No.
And if
Just
you
have
want
to be
to, if
stupid
you want to
enough at
do
times.
something and it's your thing and it makes you happy,
This is it?
then you find a way to do it.
That's right.
And it doesn't matter how you get there.
Yep. As long as you're out enjoying it, and the whole thing, like we push on this podcast, it's getting you outdoors. It's getting you out where it's your happy place, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. And I don't think I realised that for a long time because I stopped riding bikes for a long time. I recently only got back into riding bikes when COVID hit.
Yep.
And I didn't really understand, probably for a good couple of years, that it was the only time when I was on the bike that my mind was quiet.
Yep.
Because, you know, you've got to pack the kids' lunch and have I done the shopping and what time do I have to be at work in the morning? And that stuff just goes over and over
Yep.
and over in your head forever.
Yep.
Oh, crap, did I lock my car?
Yes.
Yep.
Did I leave the hair straightener on?
Yep.
Like,
I don't
all
have
of
that problem.
But when I'm on the bike, for some reason, all of that goes away.
And you just focus
It's an
on where
escape.
you're
It's
going.
an escape and it's freedom. It's the wind in your face. It's a bit of adrenaline.
Yep.
It's, how fast can I do this trail this time?
Yep.
Can I get that gap jump this time? I was too scared last time. It's getting out I ride with my partner. I've got friends that I ride with, or sometimes I like to just go by myself.
Have I got ambulance insurance this week?
That is one thing I always remember. I forget a
Yes.
lot of things, but
Yeah.
make sure I've got
Yeah,
that.
ambulance cover. That's
Yep.
the one.
Yep.
So Where's been the highlights of your rides? What would be your top 3 highlight rides?
I do like to travel a little bit when I can. So, bit of background, my partner and I are both separated, so we don't have kids together, but he's got 2, I've got 1.
Yep.
Every second weekend, we don't have any kids.
Yep.
Wasn't obviously when you get married, that's not the plan, but one of the benefits to
Yep.
being divorced, because you got to have benefits, is we've got a great relationship now, but we do get to have time on our own. So we can block out a weekend away and
travel and do whatever.
I'm not sure we've been together for 3 years and I don't think we've ever really been away on a weekend that wasn't bike riding.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with that because
No.
you're sharing a similar
We do,
passion.
and we love it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've always loved Bright.
Okay.
It's a bit of a hike to get to. There has been, over the last couple of years, because Bright is a private pine plantation that does get logged.
Yep.
It was originally run kind of by the council, and then they...
Stepped aside.
Yes,
Yep.
and someone else has taken over it now, which are the same owners as Maydena in Tassie. Another awesome place, Tassie.
Yeah.
For bike riding, it's amazing. Bright, I love. If you go any time of the year, it's great.
Yes,
it's
Bright's
a
awesome
bit
all year
chilly,
round.
bit
Yeah.
chilly in winter.
Yep.
At night time, it can
It
get
gets
quite
proper
cool.
cold up that way.
Yes,
Yep.
it does. Autumn is amazing because there's so many of those trees
Yes.
where the leaves just change colour. But
Yes.
the bike park is awesome.
Yep.
And it is, there's a lot of camping there. There's a lot of riding for like extreme, awesome people, crazy bike riders. There's
Yep.
great riding for that, but there's great riding for kids. There's
Yep.
little green runs at the bottom. There's a little pump track with some skills park like just across the road. There really
Is this in town in Bright?
There's also
or just
the-
outside?
just outside. Like
There's
Okay.
also the trail that rides along beside the Ovens River too for a
yes,
fair while.
yeah,
isn't
yeah.
there?
I think that's that rail trail's like 100 k's or something. I think.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's so much you can do there. If it's hot, you can go for a ride. You can jump in the
Fall
river.
in the river by accident.
Yep.
Look,
you can.
there's a ramp going into the river.
Well,
Not
seeing
on an
as you've
e-bike.
mentioned that,
Or
I
we've done
did.
some water jumps
I did have a pretty rough accident.
In Bright.
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
a splash by the sound of it.
Yeah. So I was on a trail called Rapids. Not many people ride it because it's at the bottom of the mountain.
Yep.
And most people go there to ride gravity, so
Right.
from the top. We were just scooting along the bottom and I clipped a handlebar. So my left handlebar grip just clipped a tree, which then flipped
Chucks the
my
wheels. Yep.
wheels round, and it just so happened that there was a little skinny bridge just as that happened and a 6-metre cliff into the river.
Ooh.
So I did take a bit of a tumble.
You went flying?
I went flying.
I'll stink.
Helmet on. Helmet on though.
Full
I
face
bet.
helmet. I always
There we go.
You're going
safety
pretty
first.
quick, so it makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
You'd want to be wearing a helmet.
Yep. And look, to be fair, a lot of the really nasty crashes and accidents that I've had and other people had, you don't necessarily have to be going fast.
Slow
So
speeds.
this one, I wasn't even going super fast, just normal.
What injuries?
I was pretty lucky because I didn't knock myself out
Right.
Yep.
because I fell into the river,
Yep.
which
6 metres.
that wouldn't have
ended
tumbled
well.
down
Yep.
6 metres into the river. Then I just sort of got up and looked around. This is all on video as well, so I was wearing a GoPro.
I'm going to hit you up for that
yes,
footage.
I will show you.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
There's a
If we
bit
can
of-
share it, that'd
bit
be
of
better.
sweariness in it, so
That's
you might
all
have
right.
to.
We can put music over it.
I did hit my head quite hard at the front. The visor snapped off.
Yep.
Goggles I was wearing as well. They flipped off and ended up down the river somewhere. Don't know where they went to.
Yep.
Called out to my friends because they didn't even sort of see it. I was a little bit ahead. In the end, they had to throw a rope down for me to climb out. And then we called some other friends. They came
Fish the
and
bike.
helped fish the bike out. And then it's in the video and I'm sort of sitting there and my girlfriend who I was riding with, she's like, "Are you all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, you know." She goes, "I think we should probably take you to hospital." And I'm like,
Probably
I
worth
go,
a check.
I'm like, "Really?" Like this. And she goes, and I go, "Yeah, probs.
Yeah.
My head's a bit sore." And later on, like, I've got this massive egg on my head. I've got a black eye, like,
So you've done a good job.
Could have done a lot worse.
Oh, yeah, but you've walked away from
Yes,
it.
well.
Yeah.
yes. I ended up in Bright Medical Centre, which is not built for probably most of the injuries that
Yep.
people get in Bright,
Yep.
which then ended in they were a little bit worried about a neck fracture
Yep.
because I did fall kind of on my head.
Right.
So they just wanted to check that out. So then I had to ambulance to Wangaratta.
Yep.
So by then everything was cleared. I was fine. I was just a bit sore. And I rang my girlfriend and I was like, can you come pick me up? She's like, we're already on the way. Do you need anything? And I said, I just need wine and snacks.
And a new full face helmet if you've got one.
Yes.
Yep.
Did you get a new helmet after that?
I did.
Gonna say
yes.
that'd be an end
so,
of the helmet,
yeah,
that one. Yep.
That is one thing that even on, especially one of my girlfriends, I've actually been with her twice when she's had a few stacks.
Yeah.
Even if you don't wreck your helmet,
That's
if
worth-
you've had an impact of some kind, it then
Renders a helmet
it
redundant.
You cannot
Yeah.
trust the
No,
integrity
yeah,
of your
that's
helmet
right, yeah.
anymore
Spot on.
because that's how they're built.
Yep.
And you should always get a new one.
Yep.
Yep.
You know, because
And don't buy it. Look, this is weird for me to say this, but don't buy it off Marketplace.
no, you don't know what's been in a
It
crash.
feels bad for me saying that out
No.
loud. Don't buy something
I
off
think that'd be two
Marketplace.
things: a helmet and a baby seat.
I was going to say
Yeah.
baby seat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Nah,
Yeah.
I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Right.
The helmet thing, really big. I'm big on full face helmet, even when you don't think you're doing anything too gnarly.
Do you go body armour as well, sort
I
of
don't
stuff to take a
personally
bit of a
wear
brace?
body armour, but I do wear full elbows and knees.
Yep. With the
Because-
forearm coverage or
Yeah.
just, yep,
Oh, sort of like mid forearm.
mid forearm.
I
They,
have-
they do cop absolute annihilations
do.
when you come off.
And
yeah.
your knees as well.
Yeah, for sure.
If I was doing anything, and one thing I do love seeing these days is the younger kids, and when I say young, I'm talking like 10, 12,
Yep.
who are doing like crazy
Gnarly
stuff.
Yeah.
They are wearing
Everything.
the chest plate,
Yep.
the neck brace,
Yes.
you know, that kind of stuff. And, you know, I've seen some pretty horrible things. I've been first on scene at a few crashes and things like that where I've seen kids just get annihilated.
That shouldn't be in the way they are.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's, you know, it's a really rough thing to happen to a young kid.
Yep.
And you really are jeopardising. You can essentially become a paraplegic.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
like,
Doesn't take much.
there's many that have had acquired brain injuries.
Yep.
And dental. Like one of the first things sometimes you hit is your
Your
chin.
chin. Yep.
Which
And
then,
you ain't stopping your teeth from smashing.
Nope.
Nope.
And that's not only painful but extremely expensive.
Oh, yeah.
So
Would that
yeah.
be your worst one, falling off the 6 metre?
That would be the most frightening.
Okay.
I think it all happens really quick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think afterwards I probably sat there and thought, if I had been knocked out, nobody saw me.
Yep.
Yep.
And I was in
Unconscious
water.
in water. It's not a good way.
It wouldn't have ended well.
Yep.
So
So that
maybe
was probably
thinking
your-
after that, yeah.
That was your bingle with the most potential.
Yeah, and I went back 2 years later
And cut the
and
tree down.
rode. Well, actually, I rode down that same trail. I hadn't ridden on it for
Yep.
a while, and they'd put up a rail there.
Okay.
Yep.
So they actually
Did you sign it as you rode past?
thought about it. I was like, I'm going to get a plaque.
Yep.
Carley was here.
I know. They run shuttles there, so
Yep.
you buy a shuttle pass, chuck your bike on the back, and they drive you to the top because it's a
Right.
long way. Like there are some great up trails, but
Mm-hmm.
if you want to do some hardcore gravity stuff and
Yep.
enjoy it, then you jump on the shuttle. And I remember sitting on the shuttle and everyone kind of talks to each other, which is great because it's like social as well.
Yep.
Yep.
And I was sort of, I get bus sick, so I
Right.
try to sit up the front a little bit more.
So everybody behind you can catch it?
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
And then the driver started talking to me and he goes, oh, there was this girl here a couple of years ago and she like fell off this cliff into the water. I go, mate, that was me. And he
You don't
goes,
have
oh.
to pay for your shuttle pass ever
Yeah,
again.
I was like, oh, I've become a legend, and I
That
didn't
is
even
awesome.
know. He's telling
That
me
is
my
awesome.
own story. So, yeah, look, Bright, great place.
Yep.
Can be a bit pricey though if you've got to get accommodation.
Yeah.
There's not much there these days that isn't
Pricey.
pricey. There's
Yep.
the camping. There's a lot of camping, which is great, but we have touched on I'm not really a camper.
Yep.
And plus the shuttles, and you've got to have a membership for the park.
Yep.
So you kind of got to pay to use it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Pay to play stuff.
Yeah,
Yep.
you used to have to pay for shuttles, but you didn't have to have like the membership thing.
Yep.
So if you've got a family, it can become
pricey.
quite
Okay.
Look,
inexpensive.
it's a pricey sport when you're buying pedal assist bikes.
Yes.
You're getting into the level of protection that you need to be getting into. It gets quite expensive.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
don't think you don't just fall into mountain biking and go,
No, you fall
I'm
off
gonna... And you don't just start and go, I'm going to buy a 10 grand bike and I'm going to
That's
spend
right.
this much on my helmet and all this. It's a slow burn. And, you know, I got back into it in COVID with my friend, and I borrowed my mate's bike. I borrowed the helmet. We just had to pedal along a rail trail.
Yep.
And we kept doing that because at the time I was working hospitality, so was no work.
Yep.
And he was doing night shift. And so we both had days free. And we just started riding. And then he was like, we'll just go to Sylvan.
Yep.
I'm like, all right. And then that was just entry level because there are some tricky tracks at Sylvan.
Yeah.
But there's also some quite simple ones that you can
Yeah.
start
Okay.
off on.
Have you done Warburton?
Yes.
You have?
Yep.
What's your
About
opinion?
5 or 6 times
Yeah.
already. I love it, but I'm on a pedal assist bike.
Okay.
Yeah. With the ups and downs.
So Warby is actually meant to be, it's going to be 3 stages.
Yes, I
Stage
heard
1
that.
is
Yep.
open. Stage 2 actually opens 4th of April.
Okay.
So it's very, very close.
Yep.
They are also starting shuttles. So only stage 1 has been open and there's no shuttles and there's only really one way up.
Okay.
It's not steep, but it's long.
It'd be a long slog sort
It's
of
a
thing.
long, it's a long way.
Yep.
Even I think I get 3/4 of the way up, and I've done it many times, and I go, Jesus, am I nearly there yet? Like, and I think
Yep.
there's not a hope in hell I could do that.
Yep.
On a analog
Standard
bike.
bike.
Standard.
No,
Yep.
no way.
I'm still laughing in my head at the analog and
I
digital
know,
bikes.
I know, and it's common language now because there are a lot of people
Yep.
on e-bikes.
Yeah, I've
And-
seen them.
Also call it
I've
a
seen them
gravity.
before.
It's just downhill.
Yeah, that's it. Really quick.
Yeah. But yeah, Warburton's great. I love it. It probably isn't super accessible for people with kids.
Yep.
I think it's got a great pump track at the bottom,
Okay.
which is great, but it's a long way up.
Yep.
So if you're just starting out, it's not your entry level. You could do the trails. They're not hard.
Yeah, but it's
But getting up
to
there
the top to
isn't
come
easy.
down. Yeah.
It's not
So you can't
easy.
throw all the bikes
We-
in a trailer and take them up there and go round?
You
Or
couldn't because
That's that public safety issue that becomes.
yeah, and
vehicles
look,
and
they are
bikes.
starting. You can, but it's still a little while in.
Okay.
And then there are people that self shuttle,
Yep.
but you couldn't leave your car up there, ride down. But I have seen, some mums and dads ride up to a certain spot, but you can't get all the way to the top.
Yep.
Oh, right.
You can come in mid-level.
Yep.
We had that with my young bloke. I took him mountain bike parks,
Yeah.
Haunted Hills Mountain Bike Park. That's just around the corner from me. So I've taken my young bloke up there, and he didn't realise that you've got to ride up the hill first before you come down it. And that, yeah, look, it wasn't the easiest thing for him to do.
No.
We got him up there eventually. Bit of swearing at Dad, but we got him up there.
The
And
front
then-
side of it or the back
Yeah,
side
the
of it?
front side of it. Yeah.
'Cause the
we didn't
back
go
side
over
of
to the
it-
back side of it. No.
The front side of it is not so bad because it's a little way up.
Yeah.
Short runs at the front. The back side of it still
Goes for a
still
long
not,
way now.
Still not super long runs on the way down, but it's there's 2 ways up, left and right. They're
Yep.
both quite a long way. They're longer than most of the downs.
Pretty sure the week it opened, there was at least a helicopter that left there once. Yeah.
There
with,
always
With
is.
patience. Yeah. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Look,
Ballarat?
Yeah. So Creswick. That's
Crazy? Yep.
been there. Great. Again, an awesome pump track down the bottom.
Yep.
Great little skills park, but it's a long way up.
yeah.
And you can self shuttle to certain places. So Creswick has what they call the W trails, the G trails, the C trails, like different sections.
Okay.
The G trails are all gravity.
Yep.
They're pretty hectic. The green is good. Like you can, it's
Sort
like,
of your more basic style.
yeah. The
Yep.
interesting thing, and for anyone who doesn't know, mountain biking rated all the trails are rated wherever you go. It's like skiing. Green is your basic, blue is intermediate, you've got your black, and then your double black. So
That's what I remember about
And then-
Cruisewick. When we went to the car park and had a look, there was a double black, and I looked, and it went almost horizontal straight down.
yeah,
I'm
The
just
one
like,
she's
whoa.
missing was the ambulance leaving at the end of it.
That's code red.
That's code red.
There's
Yeah.
even so some of them on like maps and stuff are red.
Yep.
That's bad.
Yep.
Red's bad. Or good if you really love that kind of stuff.
Yep.
The thing is every bike park that you go to, and sometimes it alters between states or whatever.
Right.
People's maybe the way that the colour that they make the trail could be subjective,
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Underrated or overrated?
depending on where you go.
Okay.
So there might be like a blue trail generally will be marked a blue if it's got some kind of jump or feature in it.
Right.
But it might just be a little tabletop.
Oh,
Whereas someone might rate that a green.
okay.
But then some other bike park might call it a blue.
And then you hit a 12-foot gap on a big pair of doubles.
Yes.
Yeah, out of
There
nowhere.
are certain kind of, I wouldn't say rules about it, but
Right.
things that they rate them on. And in Tassie was my first introduction to, oh yeah, that's a dark blue. I'm like,
Oh.
it's a what?
They're adding
That's-
shades into it
that's-
now.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's a blue-green. I'm like, what are you on about? It's got to be like one
It's
or
got a
the
tree
other.
stump that you got to bump over.
But yeah, so
okay.
a dark blue would be an intermediate heading into a difficult.
Right.
Yep.
So, but again, all subjective, depends who's rating it.
Yep. But it'd come down to your experience too, wouldn't it?
100%.
Like if
And
you've never ridden
your
and
level
you
of
look at a blue,
confidence.
that's it.
Yeah.
You look at a blue and you go, oh, stink, that's a bit off my head.
Yeah.
Whereas I want to stick to green, where you rock
Yeah.
up, see a blue and go, that's a green to me. It
But
should-
sometimes I don't trust it. You know,
Yep.
you go to, there's like a really cool gravity trail at Creswick that is green, and it is awesome.
Yeah.
It is, there's no features, it's just flowy, but the berms are, you know, can be twice my height. Like, and there's really steep sections.
Yep.
You could take a kid down it, no worries, if
Okay.
they've ridden a bike before.
Yep.
But if they're not used to visually seeing something
A big
that
drop,
big,
yeah.
or a berm going around a corner that's actually quite high. I mean, they don't have to ride it high,
no.
Yeah.
but visually sometimes that can really
That
freak
can be
them out.
overwhelming.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And again, it's a long way up. You know, they open these bike parks and there's not a lot of information for families.
Yep.
And, you know, you see them ride up, and there's been times where I've even just walked up to a family and I've said, hey,
Probably not the best idea going
Rob's
down
not
that
the
one.
best. Like,
Yep.
when your kid's already freaking out about just riding on the path to get there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you might not want to go up there, because
Yeah.
also it's like at least 3.5K climb,
Oh.
something like that.
You're going to end up carrying your kid's bike and your kid.
And if you don't know how to, I mean, look, I don't really know how to read a map very well, I'll be
Right.
honest.
Yeah.
But when you look at a map, I know what to look for now.
Yep.
And I look at how long it is and how steep it is.
Yep.
Because if
You want to know those things.
you do,
You
'cause
need
it
to know
might
how
be,
long your
you might
battery's
go,
gonna last."
it's only 500 metres, but,
But
it
it's a
might
4-in-1
be
grade.
Vertical.
exactly. It might be really steep.
Also, you need to know how long your batteries last.
I know how long mine lasts very well.
As far until it stops, then you turn around and just go straight back down.
Talking about that,
Yeah.
Carly, I was looking at your Insta. You got a pink bike
I do.
covered in donuts.
Yep. The donut bike. It is
Where
famous.
did
I
that
am not.
get inspired from?
So my bike is pink in general.
Okay.
Like it came pink. And
Yep.
but my partner, he is a graphic designer and
Okay.
he wraps vehicles.
Yep.
So, you know, vehicle signage
Yep.
for fleet cars, trucks, you name it. It was a gift, a surprise,
Yeah.
because I started off with the little head stem cap.
Right.
I got a donut.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, the donut bike, you know,
Yeah.
whatever. But we were about to go away to Bright, and he was like, oh, I'm going to wrap your bike for you. Like,
Yeah.
and I said, okay, well, let's do it like donut theme. And he goes, okay. And that was all. I didn't have anything else
Homer
to do
Simpson,
with it.
here we come.
Well, he is on it
Yep.
with my Instagram handle. So it was a lovely surprise. And
That's awesome.
the bike is famous now. Like
Yep.
often I'm out and about and you'll see these kids. It's so cute too, because they're all like teenage boys. So you'd think, this is what I love at the minute. You know, when we were younger, guys would boy kids would never be like, oh, I love something that's pink.
Yeah.
And now they're just so like free to just like whatever they want to like.
It's not pink, it's salmon.
Yeah, but they're like, I have like these 12, 13, 14-year-olds come up to me like, oh, that's a sick bike, and they're all just like, they love it.
Yeah.
And I love it. And
I think it's awesome.
yeah,
You have to tell me that you do bakery tours on it. One bakery, get a donut. Next bakery, get a donut.
no,
Oh,
but I
so-
have been to, it's shut down now, but there was a bakery out that way near Haunted Hills.
Yeah.
A donut place, and I got told to go there. There's a picture if you go back through my Instagram of my bike because they've got a mural of Homer Simpson
Yep.
on
Yep.
the wall.
Yep.
But the donut shop was shut.
Yeah.
So I was a bit devo because I was going to go there. But we could only just take a photo in front of the wall.
Yeah.
Yep. But your bike suits it too because the whole picture looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
And
like it.
someone who I was just chatting to, because it also, what I love about my bike, it is a bit out there,
Yes.
but it sparks conversation.
Yep.
And anyone who knows me knows I love a chat, right? I'll talk to anyone about anything. I was on the phone the other night ordering a bottle of spray tan. And my partner's like got dinner there and I'm like, yeah, I'll just order this spray tan. Anyway, I get chatting to the guy. I'm on the phone for 20 minutes because I love just learning about people. And
Yep.
he's actually the owner of the business and he was telling me how we moved here and this and like created this amazing thing out of nothing. And I was
Yeah.
like, this is fascinating.
Yep.
Just off ordering a bottle of spray tan.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, you're not going to get through a conversation with me in a short amount of time. But I think that's part of what drives me
Yep.
is just talking to people. And I think it gives people an opportunity to, when I'm on my pink bike with
Yep.
all my gear and my helmet, I think it can be maybe intimidating to some people who maybe would be like, oh, I don't know who she is. Like maybe I won't speak to her because we all have this internal thing
Maybe
where
they're a big deal and they're not going to have time for me. Yep.
100%. And
Yep.
that's not, it's nothing bad. It's just our natural way of thinking is, I don't want to infringe on this person's
Yep.
personal space, or what if they don't feel like talking
Spot
or
on.
Yep.
whatever.
Yep.
But it certainly has sparked conversation. And, as a 44-year-old mum, I wouldn't think that I would have a lot in common with a 14-year-old
Yep.
kid. But we've had great chats
Yep.
in the back of the shuttle
Vans
thing, the
heading up the hill.
troopy. If
Yep.
you're unlucky enough to get in the troopy, because that's the worst shuttle, because that's like the four-wheel drive. You have to sit sideways in the back.
I was going to say you need a knee with everyone
Yeah.
else that's going up.
Yeah. And it's like, it stinks.
Yep.
Because everyone's sweaty.
Sweaty, yep.
Like, everyone's gross. But, there's these young kids and they were from like Anglesey or something
Yeah.
like that. And he's telling me how he just ate 20 nuggets. And I was like, dude,
Protein.
20 nuggets, how long ago? Because like you're going to be sick. And he's
You
like,
go
no.
too hard, mate. You'll be eating them
And
again.
then he's like, and I had a kebab before that. So you just have these conversations with people that you probably wouldn't otherwise even speak to.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I love that. That's part of something that makes me happy in life.
Hence
is-
why you're here.
Hence why I'm here. Exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That really is. So your bike's a conversation starter as
It
well.
is.
What brand is it?
It is a Canyon
Okay.
Spectral on. They don't make those anymore.
I'm
'cause it
surprised your
is-
partner didn't make it into a Canyon Aero.
Yes. Yes.
You're
Going
familiar
with
with
the
that?
Simpsons.
No. Well,
Simpsons
on The
thing.
Simpsons, Homer got invited to build a car for the family.
oh, no, I do remember that.
was
And
the
it had the
Canyon
little
Aero.
bubble.
Oh, no, that was the one that Marge bought.
That's it.
She wanted the Forby.
The Canyon Aero.
Yeah.
And came out with the Canyon Aero.
Yes, I do
So,
remember that.
You have to be careful we don't get done for copyright for singing it.
Don't sing it.
Yeah, the bike's great. It has clicked over to 4,000 Ks.
Wow.
So it's starting to,
You bought it brand new?
yeah,
Okay.
it's starting to churn a little bit.
Yeah.
How many tyres you been through?
Couldn't tell you.
Countless.
Battery life is something I've got a question about.
It's still got original battery.
Still an original battery.
Yeah.
4,000 Ks
Yeah.
on the original battery.
Yeah.
And what sort of time frame will you get out of full charge with your
It
pedal
depends.
assist? Yep.
So if I am riding a lot of uphill, won't last long.
if the bike's riding a lot of uphill.
Yes.
Yep.
For instance, Yuyangs,
Yep.
love riding there. I ride up the Fire Road,
Yep.
and there's a trail called Cressy that I love and a lot of people love because it's quite different, I guess, to any other trail, I reckon, in Victoria, because it's just got heaps of different features. Like, it's fast, it's got jumps, but then it's got rock gardens, and it's really cool.
It's a bit of everything in the one
Yeah,
hit.
and if you're even just like a really beginner rider, you can still ride it.
Yep.
Like, it's only as hard as
You
make it.
Yep.
And if you're going fast, it can be tricky, but it's got a lot of pace. You can ride around all the jumps. Like, you don't have to do it. You can roll things. It's really great. But the most I've done there is like 11 runs. So that's quite a lot. That's like 40 Ks, I think.
Yep.
And probably uphill, maybe it's like 40% of that is uphill.
Yep.
So, yeah, if you're really pushing a lot uphill and you've got it in boost, which I mostly do,
Yep.
then you're going to drain your battery.
Fairly
If
quick.
you're somewhere like Bright and I'm on the shuttle, even though I have it in boost, because I like to be able to, if I have to brake, I like to be able to gain speed quick again.
Get back up to
And
speed.
I don't
yeah.
have I can't pedal and push too hard, otherwise I'm going to blow my knee out. But the e-bike gives me the capacity to, if I have to brake and slow down, I can do a few quick pedals and I'm up to speed quite fast again.
Yep.
Okay.
Which is beneficial. But then if I'm on shuttles and I'm riding gravity all day, I might drop one battery bar,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's really just depends where you are and how much you're climbing, because it's the climbing that drains the battery.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
whether you're riding it in boost, like
So
I do.
you
all the time.
choosing where you're going will dictate how long your battery's
Yeah,
going to last.
and I've ridden it a lot of places now, so I can pretty much guess. And you've
Okay.
got a little meter. I've got 5 little lights,
Yep.
and it shows you that you're dropping.
As it's dropping cells.
And then
Yep.
as it gets to, when you get down to 2 bars, it gets a little, so you get to 2 bars and then it's sort of going to drop down to 1. It'll give you a warning.
Start sort of flashing or
Yep.
something. Yep.
And then, once you start getting real low, it'll turn it straight into eco on purpose, because
Okay.
if you can't get back from somewhere,
Yep.
then
It'll just give you that little bit to help you, and
yes.
that's it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So with the eco mode on the bike, my question is, you get I'm dropping into eco mode and you have no choice. How far is eco mode getting you? Because if you're 3/4 of the way up the hill, do you go, I can get this last run done, or I'm turning back now?
To be fair, if I was already down to 2 bars
Yep.
and I knew I'd ridden a bit, I wouldn't have even started the climb, because I would know. First of all, I'd never do a climb in eco. It's actually almost the same as just riding an analog bike, because
Okay.
you put the weight of the bike is so much more than a normal bike
Yep.
that you're pushing harder because the bike's so heavy.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So really eco, and when your battery gets right down, that's only meant to get you just to like a little bit.
Yep.
If it's uphill, you're not going to
You don't
get
get
far.
far. Yep.
If it's downhill, you can just roll. If it's
Yeah.
flat, it's not too bad. But
You'll
even
coast for a
if the
while.
bike switches off, and again, the newer bikes, you don't get as much drag. But once your motor cuts out on one of the older bikes, you can
know
feel
about
it.
Yep. Yeah.
You're pushing against electric.
You've got no
Yeah.
choice. You're doing
Yep.
leg day.
Yeah.
Yep.
So besides you falling in the river at Bright, what would be one of your most memorable moments from a trip? You were saying off air something about Narooma. You wanted to talk about that?
So we took a lot of our trips, because we've got to fit them into a short space of time before we get the kids back.
Yep.
Narooma, and then doing Mogo, Narooma and Eden
Right.
in there and back as well in like 5 days.
That's a
was a
hike.
lot.
Yep.
But, when you want to do something, you make it happen.
That's right.
So we went to Narooma, stayed in Narooma, but then Mogo's about 50-minute drive from there,
Right.
up
Yep.
a bit. If you haven't been there, go there, because it's such a cute town.
Yeah.
Like, it's got like a really massive lolly shop
Yeah.
and a bakery, like an
That
epic
sells
bakery.
donuts.
I didn't get a donut. Actually, I was so cooked after that ride. I
Yeah.
actually couldn't eat. I felt physically sick
Yeah.
because I had ridden that hard and fast and far.
Yep.
You know, when you just like,
A hydration issue?
no, I mean,
I asked because our last episode we discussed the hydration,
Yeah.
because I ran too
Yep.
close with the amount of water I carried.
Yeah.
Cam dehydrated himself and he got
yeah.
the shakes and didn't eat.
Oh,
Look,
you
this
name it.
one, like,
Yeah.
I had food, I had water, all the things.
Yep.
It was literally that it was that much fun that
You
we
just
just
kept
kept
going.
riding.
Yep.
And I call them fun tokens. And you've only got a certain amount of fun tokens. And that day, I was in debt.
You borrowed tomorrow's.
I had borrowed some fun tokens from
Sometimes
somewhere.
you have to.
And I had spent them, and that also means recovery
The next
can
day.
be a bit
Yep,
longer.
100%.
It wasn't too bad because, you know, it was just exhaustion. And you mix in the adrenaline and the, you know, all of it, the excitement, being somewhere new, you know, not knowing the trail,
Yep.
all of those things. Mentally you're exhausted and physically you're exhausted. But yes, got to Mogo on the first day, had a mechanical, didn't really know what it was, but didn't want to push the bike, didn't want to break it. And went down to the shop because they have a bike shop there. Again, it's such a small town.
Yeah.
And I think it's crazy that they've got such a great bike shop.
Yeah.
But when people build these bike parks and they want people to come, you've got to put those facilities in.
Yeah.
Because if you've got a mechanical and no one's around to fix it,
Yeah,
you're
stop
not going to
riding.
ride.
That's
Yep.
it, you're done.
Game over.
So stopped in, spoke to the guy. I didn't know at the time I needed a new chainring. I just couldn't. He jumped on my bike, which was hilarious because it's obviously like I'm 5'4"
Yeah.
and I'm on a small frame bike. So when he jumps on, his knees are nearly touching his
The
you know,
handlebars.
yeah.
Yep.
So, but he goes for a pedal, comes back, and he goes, "Oh, you just need a new front chainring." I'm like, "Okay, great." He goes, "But I don't have a 32. Like, I'll check at the other shop." Went beyond, you know, everything, and he goes, "But I tell you what, if I don't have one, I'll take one off another bike and I'll put it on and I'll just order one for the other bike."
Yep.
And I thought, oh, no one in Melbourne would have ever done that.
That's, yeah.
Above,
100%.
above and beyond.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go the extra mile. It's your customer service, but it's also just he knew that we were only there for 2 days.
Well,
Yep.
give the
And-
bike shop a bit of a shout out then. Not that we've got a huge
Don't
reach,
even, do you know, I wouldn't even know what it's, I think it's just Mogo, like bike
Mogo
shop.
cycles or something
Yeah,
like that.
it's
Yep.
just, it's right at the bottom of the trails.
Okay.
He also has really awesome shoes. They're custom Brooks that he has.
Okay.
And I think the ones he was wearing were Christmas ones at the time, but then he was telling me all about the different types of custom shoes he's got. And even that,
Wow.
I love listening to people talk about things that make them happy.
Yes.
Yep.
And how they get excited
Yep.
and they're looking at you and they're loving that you're invested
Yes.
in like what makes them happy.
Absolutely.
So that, and then he was making me happy because I was like sad that I'm going to miss out on a day of riding, and then the potential to like maybe need a part for my bike and not be able to ride another day of a short holiday that we'd been planning for ages
Yep.
really changed the holiday.
That's awesome.
I left the bike there overnight. He charged it for me even. I got back the next day. It was all sorted and we were off.
Wow.
And yeah, it was just, it's
Fantastic.
epic as well. The place is epic.
No, it's funny. You start looking into the gear. Like, I've got my young bloke into it a bit, and he's, "Oh, I need some new gloves, Dad. I need some new gloves." We were at Haunted Hills playing around on the pump track for his first ever time. Now, in saying it, yet again, I asked 2 random blokes that were standing on the back of the car having a cold one after they'd been riding all day, and they came over, and I've mentioned this on the podcast prior to. One of them jumped on his bike, came over and was riding around beside my son, explaining to him how to do it, coaxing him through it. And then I'm like, "Oh, he's saying he needs new gloves." And they're like, "Oh, well, Fist's got a 25% off sale." So we jumped on there and got him some fancy Lego gloves.
I have fist gloves too.
I was going to
Guess
say,
what's
have
on
you
them?
got the donut
Yep.
fist gloves? Yep. Yeah. So,
But they're the only ones that fit me.
yep.
Every other brand, they're either too big or too small.
Yep.
But the fist ones, I have to get a youth extra large.
Yep.
So I'm in a kid's one
Right.
in the bigger size
Yeah.
because the small adult
It's
is
too
just a
big.
little bit too big. Because
Yep.
if you've got too much room in your gloves and
You
you're
get
holding on,
blisters from that.
it
Yep.
rubs.
I
So-
remember the days when I used to ride, I used to wear lizard skins, the gloves, and a decent helmet. And they were Fox motorbike gloves because
Yep.
it was the only thing you could really buy back then.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you bought that pair that was that little bit too big, you'd go, "I've got to get another pair because
Yep.
these are rubbing."
Yeah.
So,
And I think as well for, you know, I say for younger kids, but it's probably for everyone as well. I know you guys touched on like pump tracks and stuff.
yep.
You don't need all the gear for a pump track.
Oh, no, you don't.
But I'm telling you right now, if you come off
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's not forgiving.
You know, gloves, if you're, falling forward
Yep.
on asphalt or even an unsealed,
And you get
you
gravel
are
rash.
going to lose
Yeah.
most of the skin on your hands. And that is a really hard place to heal because, especially if you're a kid,
Spot
you
on.
do everything with your hands. And
Yeah, that's right. I
It's
remember
rough.
many times not wanting to bend knees after stacking a
elbows is the worst.
Yeah.
I think elbows,
I've,
because I've had a real bad elbow and you don't realise, like,
I
when
still
it
sport
happens,
scars from when
not
I used
great.
to do it as a kid.
But then when you sit in an office like I do, you
Yep.
don't realise that you lean your elbow on the table all the time. And
Yep.
every time I leant, I was like, like you can't lean on anything when it's your elbow.
Yep.
It's an absolute killer.
I remember when, this is going back a few years, I was still at high school, finding the old little tiny bike on hard rubbish and riding that thing till you snap the chain. And it was that height that you couldn't actually stand up and get away from it. And your knees ended up just dragging along the bitumen, pinning you under the pedals.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah.
Look,
You at 6'4" riding a kid's bike,
oh,
mate.
yeah, mate.
That'd be
it
the
was-
best bit.
Yeah. But, I mean, you think nowadays, you look at the pedals, they're all flat with a few little spikes. Do you remember the old Diamondback bear traps from
bear
back
traps.
in the day? Oh,
And you slip a pedal.
I've got a ding in my shin still from those.
Probably got about 1 million of
Yeah.
them, dude.
I've got a jersey that says shark bait across the back.
Ooh, ha, ha.
Because I often used to slip off the pedal and actually get the back of like
and
my
get up
calf,
the tendon and stuff, yeah.
and it looked like a shark bite because it was almost like curved to
The
the shape of
roller,
the paddle.
yep.
Like it looked like a shark had bitten the back of you.
Yeah. Man.
It's those metal. I ride flats. That's
Yeah.
a whole nother conversation if anyone's going to get into it with
Ooh,
mountain bike
clip-ins
clip-in.
and flats. And, yeah.
Look, I don't want to die, so I don't wear clip-ins.
I'm not getting stuck to this pony. I want to get away from
Yeah,
it.
I want to be able to jump off when I need to.
Yeah.
But yes, with that comes
The risk.
the pins.
Yep.
See, do they still make lizard skins? They were the best thing in the world when I was young and on pushies. Neoprene wrapped all the way up to your knee, big plastic reinforced
I don't
shin.
know. Maybe they do, and people just don't wear them.
Footy socks and soccer shin guards, mate. That's all you needed.
Nah, mate, lizard skins, they were a game changer. I remember riding back after one good praying at the Kilsyth BMX track when I was younger.
Yeah.
It was starting to rain and I'd taken all the skin off my forearm.
Yep.
The blood coming out of that
Yeah.
plus the rain, it looked amazing.
Did you ever ride the old BMX track in Knox? Behind all the factories?
Many times.
I
I
came-
spent many hours on a shovel in that joint too.
I came off the tabletop there and went down the other side of it, up my side.
Yep.
And I still maintain that was worse than knees and elbows because it grew and it
Yeah.
grew tight. You go to bend over, game over.
Yep.
It's I think if you get a graze,
Yep.
a large area of
Yes.
skin, even though it's not deep, that's the worst.
It's a burn as well.
If
That's
you
the
just
problem.
have a really deep cut,
Yeah.
it's actually less painful.
Yep.
Because it's isolated. The graze,
agree.
the graze is the worst.
The worst ones are when you hear, we're going to have to scrub that. Oh. I still have trauma from that one when I was younger.
Yeah, so do I. I feel like we all have
There's
a
still
gravel
gravel
rash
in there.
trauma from
If you ride a bike,
kids.
you know about
Yeah.
it.
I still get the
100%.
odd lump that comes up as a little stone.
Yeah. Oh, God. We touched earlier before slightly on, I think, how difficult it can be for mums and dads that haven't ridden bikes,
Yep.
that know that they want to get their kids into it, especially when they're young.
Yep.
And there's not a lot of info out there. And I think, again, intimidating. Like, there's a lot of people at a bike park or whatever that can look intimidating because they've got a helmet on, like a full face helmet,
got the
and
gear.
All the gear with some idea.
Yeah, but
Yep.
you'd be surprised. I think
How
with
open
how many
they are.
people will just jump in and help.
Yep.
Anytime you've got a question. Like, I see kids. I live right near a pump track, and one thing that makes me sad and happy at the same time is how many parents take their kids down there. I love it.
But they just let them loose on little fold-up scooters.
like little kids
Yeah.
on balance bikes.
Yep.
I mean, balance bikes are awesome. They're way better, I think, personally, to teach a kid how to ride a bike than training wheels.
That's a good point.
But you've also got to remember that
They don't have
an
anywhere to put their
unsealed pump
feet.
track is gravel. If you have thin tyres with no grip and you're trying to turn a corner,
Game over.
you are going to wash out.
Yep.
But who would know that? only a bike rider
Someone
would
that's
know
done that before.
And
Yep.
so you have mum or dad bring their kid down. They're on the balance bike that maybe doesn't have the grip or the thin tyres, and they've got them in a singlet and shorts.
Oh,
And I would say probably 3 times a week I hear the death scream. It sounds like murder
Yeah.
when they come off. You know, when little
Yep.
kids are really hurt and
Yep.
it's like that blood-curdling scream.
The world ended.
Yep.
I'm off.
Yep. And I've often run down the street across the road with an ice pack, to...
Patch them up.
It comes from not knowing.
Yeah.
And, if you don't... Number one, most of them have a helmet, but some people are still taking 3 and 4-year-olds down
Without
to the
one.
pump track with a helmet on. And I can't stress enough, especially at that age,
Yeah.
where their skull isn't even
Yes,
properly formed,
sealed,
you know.
Yep.
And a small little stack where there's a rock or something can actually end in real tragedy. Like
yep.
it's quite frightening if
Yeah.
you knew the risks.
100%.
I did post a video of me doing a wheelie on my young bloke's mountain
I
bike.
saw it.
And I got a bit of a tune up for not wearing a helmet,
Yes.
which I admit
Yes.
was wrong. But I'm like, hey, give us the bike for a second.
And I mean, you can if it's just you're taking him down the pump track on a thing, you don't have to get an expensive helmet. Just
No,
something
just
to...
a normal bike helmet.
Yeah, just
Yep.
a normal, you can even get one from
As long
Kmart. They're
as
not,
long as it
you know...
meets the Australian safety
Exactly
standards,
right.
you are sorted.
And the other thing, you don't have to put them in knee pads and elbow pads. But if you are going to take him down, I know it's hot, but maybe just cover the skin.
Yeah.
A decent long sleeve
Like a
and
long
pants.
sleeve or
Yep.
pants, because it's going to save a lot of heartache.
Oh, yeah.
And
The shirt's probably going to be ruined by the end of it, but that's what
it's
they're
better
there
than
for.
their skin
Yep.
coming off.
Do you want to sit him in hospital and hear those words?
No,
We
no, I
need to
don't.
scrub the rocks out.
I know,
No, thank
and
you.
you
Still get a
don't.
shiver.
And, I think we want kids to get on bikes and all of that. And when they have a traumatic experience
That can
at
end it
3 or
forever.
4,
Yeah.
it's really hard to get them back on. I
So-
mean, some of them will jump up and be like, oh, I'm bleeding.
Wicked.
Oh, well, off I go.
Yeah.
But most of them are traumatized because they're so young and it is really painful.
Yeah.
Like, it's really painful.
We used to see it a lot riding. I used to ride mountain bikes in the Dandenongs, but also ride BMX at the skate park at the back of Knox City there. And the thing that used to get us the most was the parents would turn up, dump a little kid out on his tiny little bike or a scooter, and he'd be riding around inside a bowl, so down in the hole.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't see him till you're about to drop in, but you've lined up to come in with speed.
Yeah.
And next thing you've got to bail out because there's some little kid riding around somewhere
Yep.
where there's other people that are using it quite a bit, and that you don't want to hurt them, and you end up sometimes hurting yourself trying to get away from them. That's the other part to
Yeah.
it, isn't it? So
I mean, look, there's etiquette and there's people...
sometimes people just throw that to the wind, though.
Well, yes, but also there's 2 types. There's the ones that know the etiquette and choose to ignore. It's entitlement. And the other ones that it just comes from being naive. Like, they just don't know. You don't know what you don't know.
That
and you
happens
can't-
in so many
you can't
different
know
aspects
everything.
of being outdoors.
I think it happens in just
Yeah.
every aspect of life.
Yeah,
Everyday
It does.
life.
I mean,
100%.
there's lots of people that I meet that have lived just such a sheltered life where I'm just like, what? How could you not know that? But then
Yep.
you forget that you're not born with
Yep.
knowledge and skills.
It's
You
learned.
take it on and you learn it your whole life.
But you are born with a question in your mind. I don't know about this. Can you tell me about it?
100%.
We all have that natural
Yeah.
inbuilt question.
Curiosity.
It's curiosity. Spot
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. But I guess if you don't know that, you need to even ask the question. I mean, a lot of people, sometimes I think, how can you be that naive? But then also, if your parents never took you out, if you sat in
Spot
front
on.
of, if
Yep.
your mum and dad never took you anywhere, you sat in front of a TV, you never really did anything growing up, and now you're an adult, you've got a kid, how would you know
Yep.
etiquette at a bike
At a skate
park?
park.
right.
Or,
How would
Yep.
you know
Yeah.
etiquette at like just an open park that's got a basketball hoop?
Mm.
I mean, I don't know what the etiquette is, but surely there is some.
We see it as well at the pump track. The mums turn up, they all sit up in the little rotunda, have their cup of coffee and their catch-up,
Yeah.
and they're not even watching their kids riding around all over the pump track,
Yeah.
cutting other kids off that are trying to do a full lap or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's
I think even just kids that want to go on the swing or want to play on some play equipment.
Yep.
Yep.
And I've often said to, to my daughter specifically, like, I know you love this play equipment or whatever, the swing,
yep.
but you need to let other kids have a go.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
and you've got to explain that.
Yeah.
And
Someone else is here waiting.
she's older now, and
Yep.
she knows, and it's great now because I've instilled that from a young age. Like, why don't you ask that little girl if she wants to play with you? Why don't you ask her if she wants to go on the seesaw with you? And so now, when she goes to the park by herself, she'll often be like, "Oh, I met this girl, and this is her name, and blah," and
She's my
knows
best
her,
friend now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
knows her life story.
Yep.
Just don't know where she got that, Rob. But it's made her more aware of other people.
I was brought up that way as a young bloke as well because my dad was doing that quite a bit. But now if someone says to me, "Oh, I'm getting into hunting," my first thing is, "Do you want to come out and shoot some rabbits?" I'll teach you because I want people to learn and move that aspect on.
It's the starting point.
That's it.
It depends. Look,
Moves in every aspect, doesn't it?
it does. Yeah, it does, really. It depends what you're trying to do, but
Yeah.
the world benefits from people being mentors for the younger generation that don't know what's
Spot on.
going on.
Yeah, but you can be a mentor for someone else your own age.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
Yes.
You know, obviously we're all middle age, if that's what you want to call it, but there's things that I learn every day, and I hope that I never stop learning. You
Yeah.
know, like I hope I never want to stop learning, and hope I never feel like I know everything. Or
Yeah.
you know, sometimes you do something one way your whole life and you think you know everything about it, and someone says something and you're like, I was today years old
Yes.
when I
Yes.
realised I've been doing it wrong the whole time.
100%.
You know, absolutely crazy.
Do you find your writing has an effect on your mental health?
100%.
100%?
Yeah. I think, like I mentioned at the start, I didn't realise at the time, but I got so much joy out of writing. And it wasn't until I actually had a late ADHD diagnosis at 41. So I'd
Right.
already started riding bikes. Then that happened, and that was a bit life-changing, but also explained a lot.
Yep.
And then I realised, and I learnt a lot about how my brain works.
Okay.
And I did a lot of my own research, just looking into things and understanding how my brain works and that kind of thing. And the way that I like to explain ADHD to people is if you're sitting in a room and there's a TV on and you're trying to watch this show, but then either side of you, you've got 3 TVs and they're all on different channels and they're all on full volume.
Right.
But you're trying to watch the one in front of you.
Yeah.
That's literally what's inside the brain of an ADHD person.
Okay.
You've got a song here, you've got something that happened in 1982, you've got something you said 2 weeks ago that you have been replaying in your head for over and over again because you feel like it,
Yep.
and then the TV show that you watched, and then all the things that you've got to do, and all of that is swimming around your head 24/7 because your brain actually works a lot faster than standard brain.
Yep.
So I didn't realise that's why I'm exhausted all the time. But then when I got on the bike, for some reason, all of that disappeared.
It just
Everything
drips
was
aw- just
quiet.
drops away, doesn't
it's
it?
quiet.
Yep.
And I was like, now I understand why it's quiet. Because sometimes you've got to be doing something to make your brain quiet,
Yep.
which is, you know, a bit contradictory sort of thing. But
No, I fully understand it. I can sit there and stare at a fishing rod tip that doesn't move for hours
100%.
and just be focused on
Yep.
that and not a care in the world, anything, anywhere else.
I got the same scoping out of
Yep.
paddock.
Yep. Oh, mate, I get it sitting on a hillside looking
Yep.
for deer. It's
Yep.
just anything. I don't sit still. But to be able to get out there and just focus on the one thing and everything else just drops away.
yep.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
a big thing.
I'm quite creative, so I do a lot of mixed multimedia art and things like that. And I find sometimes I can sit there for hours just planning or sitting there picking what I'm doing, all of that. And hours will go by. And I won't realise, but I find it really therapeutic and calming.
Yep.
Yep.
You wouldn't think throwing yourself down a mountain on a mountain bike, you know, at
Yeah.
risking death would be,
Only if there's a little bridge.
oh, yeah. No,
But that's really tapping into all your adrenaline, dopamine,
The
Yep.
works.
Yep.
and
Physical.
focus your brain
Yeah.
on the one thing.
I did learn a lot as well about the neurodivergent brain being exercise is really good.
100% it is.
So good for it.
Yeah.
And to the point that I actually have had a bit of a niggle in the knee lately. When I say niggle, because I'm often in a bit of pain, but I push through. This is like hardcore painkillers for a couple of days, sort of not being able to walk but pushing through.
Yep.
I can't ride. I've got a static trainer at home that I like to jump on if I can't get out on the bike.
Yep.
But I haven't exercised and I've felt it.
Yep.
I have felt it. I am not as tolerant. I am tired. Like, again, you think the harder you work, the more tired you would be, but it doesn't work that way. You know, the more exercise you do, the better you feel,
Yeah,
the more awake you actually feel,
Yeah.
and the better you sleep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
Running that body battery down and then letting it
Yep.
build up again overnight.
yep.
Yeah.
Yep, because if you don't exhaust it sometimes, again, with the ADHD, we don't sleep very well.
Things keep ticking
You
over
lay
the whole
down
time.
and you might lay there for hours before you go to sleep. But when you have physically exerted yourself,
Yep.
you actually feel great.
Yep.
But you've actually burnt the
You've burnt the
extras
energy.
that
Yep.
have been sitting there the whole time,
Yep.
and you actually reset back
Yep.
to what everyone else calls normal.
Exactly.
Yep,
Exactly right.
100%.
There is no normal.
Yeah, what is normal?
Let's be honest. I'm not.
There isn't. There isn't. I love as well. My daughter says that all the time. And again, I've instilled that since from a young age because she's like, oh, you know, this person said I'm weird. And I was like, so?
You yourself.
And she's like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, well, what's wrong with being weird? I said,
That's right.
Here's the thing. If you're the same as everyone else, you're going to be pretty boring.
Yeah.
Spot on.
And she's run with that. And,
Yep.
you know, she's in grade 5 now. And so we're getting to that older kind
Yep.
of, you know. But even she goes, oh, Mum, you know, this kid said something today, blah, blah, blah. And I go, oh, are you all right? Like, how do you feel about that? And she goes, oh, to be honest, I don't really care. I go,
The
oh.
best
High
way
five.
to be.
I'm like, okay. She goes, yeah, I just walked off. I'm like,
High five to her.
good for you, mate.
That is awesome.
Like, because we do sort of say, and I think one thing that I learnt at a hard time in life, maybe in my mid-20s when I sought help for mental health, and I remember him saying to me, mind over matter, which can mean a lot of things to different people, but
Yep.
he was like, if I've got to say it the right way, so mind over matter, if they don't matter, then you shouldn't mind.
Yep. I
like,
get it.
As in,
Yeah.
if it's not someone important to you,
I don't mind,
it's-
so you don't matter.
no, like your opinion is kind of irrelevant
Spot on.
because you're not an important person in my life that I'm going to take criticism for or advice or anything like that.
Yep.
If you are close to me, which I am very fortunate to have a tight-knit group of friends, like only small, very small, 2 very good girlfriends.
It's
and
funny you learn that as you get older, isn't it?
Yeah.
Doesn't need to be that huge group that you
No.
thought when you were younger.
But not everyone has it either.
Yeah.
Like I'm very, very fortunate that I have these 2 girlfriends, and I've been at some pretty low points in my life where, you know, I've had my girlfriend ring me and she's like, you know, I'm sitting on the side of the bed, I'm crying, you know, and she's like, you know, this is what you're going to do and you just need to get through the next 2 hours.
Yep.
And I'm going to call you in 2 hours and I'm going to see how you're going then. And someone who is, you know, I'm not the best at being, I'm a good friend, but I'm not the best at instigating.
Yep.
And she's always been the one to always call and check in on me and always, you know, be that rock. So I'm super fortunate to have that. And I wish everyone could have it. You know, that one person that she knows me,
Yep.
she's not been afraid to tell me that maybe I'm not making some very smart choices, you know?
Yep.
The hard truths, yeah.
Yep. But she knows how to deliver it as well, to not be
That is
hurtful
What is it?
or-
You need a truth teller and a ride or die. They're the
Yes.
2 people you need
There
in your
too.
life.
I think
Yes.
there's 3 or 4 to that whole saying.
Yes. Like if I said I'd killed someone, she'd go get a shovel.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same
The
time,
right
she'd be-
person won't ask why, how,
No,
when.
no.
They'll just go,
You're,
right.
you're just hearing them pulling their boots on and getting ready
Yes.
and walking out the door.
Yes,
Yep.
but at the same time, she is the voice of reason as well, which is fantastic. And I think that probably more people could. You don't have to have a best friend that you've known for 20 million years.
No.
You could meet someone tomorrow that could become that person.
Yep.
Or, you know, we all have work friends, and I think a lot of your workmates hear more about your personal life than like anyone, because they spend so much time with you.
Yeah.
And even those friends, you know, like they know you can talk to them about stuff. And I think the one thing you can probably do, you can't force people to talk, right? But
No.
you can make yourself the person that other people feel comfortable around.
To have those conversations
Yep.
that sometimes aren't the best conversations to have, but
They're
they
not.
need to be had.
They're not easy.
Yep.
Yep. And I know.
We've checked in on each other with those sorts of conversations a handful of times, I think.
We've had a few of them, mate.
Yeah. And I know you guys, I have listened to a few of your podcasts, and you always say, you know, check in on your mates.
Yeah.
And you can check in on your mates, and often maybe they will, you know, you check in on them and they're like, no, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm
everything's good, but it's not.
And then you check in on them again and they're like, no, I'm good. And then maybe that third or fourth time when you're like, hey, mate, like I'm just calling to see, or it's not always going to happen the first time. And I think
that's right.
I'm have been in that boat where I have been okay, but you're like the duck on the water, where above you
Calm
look all
on top.
right,
Yeah.
and underneath your little legs are
Paddling like
struggling,
mad
and
underneath.
to
Yep.
everyone else you look pretty calm, cool, and collected. But
Yeah.
to put it in to words of one of the teachers at school, you should be thriving, not surviving.
Yep.
100%.
And if you're surviving, you're just managing to keep your head above water.
Just sticking
And
there,
that's
yeah.
when you may be wanting everyone to think that you're okay.
And that's a really crap place to be.
It's a shit place to be.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm
That's all
swearing.
right. We can just put a warning on that one. That's honesty, though.
Yes.
That is.
But when you're
You're
checking
right.
in on your mates, which I love that you guys do, because especially I think girls do it a lot. And for men, it's not... It's not something you guys were brought up with.
No,
like
you're right.
nowadays, maybe we do talk about it a little bit more, but you've always been, you know, you've got to be the man, you've got to hold it together, and that puts a lot of pressure on you guys, and then you don't normally get brought up to talk about your feelings, and so even when your mate says, how you going, you don't want
Yeah.
to say, because you don't want them to perceive you as being weak, which is not that, but
It's not weak
a
to
lot of
speak.
people-
I've
it is
seen
not.
It's a sticker that I've seen around before, but
it's not. But I
it's
think
not weak to
so
speak
many
up.
people
Yeah.
still have that feeling about themselves that I can't say how
Yeah.
I really feel, because I don't want people to think that I'm not capable or that I'm not coping. But
And eventually you hit that point where you just go, you know what? I'm just going to say it, and if they don't like it, that's on them.
Yeah.
I
At the
think
same
the
time
hardest
too.
part is, as guys, we present the problem because we're Mr. Fix-Its. We present the problem
But have the fix sitting there already.
and quite often either have the fix or we expect a fix.
Yeah.
But for the times that I've contacted you and gone, hey, dude, I am struggling, and you'll just go, right, what's going on?
Yeah. And
And then you present the problem.
yeah,
But I've acknowledged up front to you,
there's
but
an
you
issue,
vice
and
versa
then
both
you've got to
ways.
sit there and go, right, listening, what's going on,
Correct.
get that information and work out
Yeah.
what you can do.
And it's still hard. I mean, I was brought up with a dad who was quite quiet. No issue at all there. But I've also learnt over the years that opening up and sharing emotions doesn't always work. But for females to stop and understand that our emotions are dictated by our current situation is more the problem to us than for females that talk about it because the emotion behind their problem, where we have the problem that causes the emotion. Does that make sense?
100%.
Yeah.
And I see or have seen a lot of men in my life struggle with, you know, a lot of different mental health problems, and they're usually quite different. You know, it can come from anywhere. We
Yeah,
all know. We've all,
100%.
you know, had rough upbringings, or something bad happens in your life, or, you know, anything like that. It can be anything. Even if you're struggling with money, like everyone, I think
Yeah.
at the minute, it's not easy at the minute. Like
No.
money wise, everyone's sort of pulling the purse strings a little bit, and that, you know, if you're, and I say this in inverted commas, the breadwinner, because you know, and you've got young kids and a wife and
It's
everyone,
an unspoken pressure.
Yeah.
and you feel like it's all on you, like that is a really big thing to carry.
It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be an expectation from your partner either.
No,
It's your own
often-
expectation
often
because
your
you
own
grew
expectation.
up watching it.
what you're trying to provide because
Yeah.
you want to provide.
Yes, correct.
Yep.
I think you ask anyone with kids, if you could give them the world, you would.
Oh, bloody oath you would.
Like,
Every day of the week.
Yes and no.
Every day of the week.
yeah. Yep. You want
That'd be a debate for another day.
That's a big debate.
you want the best for them.
Yes,
you want
you
to
do.
give them everything you can. You want to give them the greatest opportunities that
I
they
think
can
giving them
possibly
the
have.
secrets to life that me at 52 learnt now that I wished I'd learned back
Yeah.
when I was 13, 14, 15, 16.
Yeah.
It's those keys, I think, to give them a better view and direction in life than you handing someone, you're just enabling them and they don't have the same...
Absolutely.
The
They've
same
got to learn.
gratefulness. It'd be like you jumping in a car, driving to the top of the mountain, look at the view, go, yeah, this is fantastic, right, let's go home.
Yeah.
Whereas you've ridden the bike,
Yeah.
pushed yourself that far,
Yeah.
and you've taken that view in because you've had the distress to get
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I totally agree. You've got to let them learn the lessons and all that. But
Yeah.
do they want to hear it? That is another question.
That's the biggest question.
Well, most of the time, no. But depending on how you present it can make all the difference.
Yeah. Yep. And I think having them open to, we all learn by making mistakes. You can't just not make mistakes
True.
because
You learn from your mistakes.
100%.
Well, sometimes. Some people take a little bit longer. But
yes, they do.
But that can be a blind ignorance.
that can be.
Or stubbornness.
Yeah, that later one gets me a bit sometimes.
Are you stubborn?
No, not really. My wife wouldn't say that at all.
I think I'm in the same boat
absolutely.
as you. Just
Yeah.
quite. But sometimes it can be I want to succeed, or if I try something and I don't succeed, I'm not going to give up after the first time, and I might then border stubbornness because many people will be like, mate, come on now, you've tried a few times, like it's
Yeah.
not going to work, and I'm like, no, I'll just try this like one other thing just in case, because I don't ever want to have that feeling
The
that
what if.
that I didn't give it everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes 10,000 hours to master something.
Yes.
That's what I've heard.
Did I tell you that?
I don't know. No.
On Joe Rogan's podcast, he was talking with Jelly Roll, and Jelly Roll was saying that he started bow hunting for deer, and he went out with this other archer.
Yep.
He put his jumper on, and it scared off all the deer. It
Yep.
was a camo hoodie.
But the movement, the speed at which he probably put it on is what caught
Scared the
their eye.
daylights
Yep.
out of it. And he was
Yep.
saying to Joe at the time, he said, I was a real idiot, but I needed to remember I was only 1 hour into a 10,000 hour journey.
Yes.
It doesn't end until he hits the 10,000th hour.
Yep.
And I'm like, that's a really good aspect or a beginning for our whole life.
Mate, it's amazing. You think about how long you've spent chasing rabbits or foxes. You reckon you've done your 10,000 hours?
Nah.
I do not reckon I've even come close to it yet.
Nah.
So,
And that's a staple. I mean, rabbits maybe. I mean, there's enough rabbits that are going through my freezer to account for that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that applies everything all the way down to Carley getting on her bike.
Yeah, that's
How many
right.
hours would you said 4,000?
4,000 Ks on that bike only. And I've had a few bikes, plus the trainer and all the times that I didn't log. Well, that's
Yep.
actually on the bike, so the bike tells me
Yeah.
the motor
Has
has
done
it's like a
4,000.
speedo on a car
Yep.
Yep.
kind of thing. Sorry, odometer. Not speedo.
I never had a speedo on a bike when I was younger. I didn't want to know how fast I was going.
Well, I've got that. So I know how fast I'm going, but it's not it's more
It's the sudden stop at the end.
or it's more I think what's coming.
Yeah.
Like what this feature, what's unexpected things
You'd be
are
too
going to
busy
happen.
looking at the track to worry about what speed you're doing.
Well, no, I don't look at it at the time,
Huh.
but a lot of my riding is logged on.
I was going to say, is it
Strava.
logged, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can see.
That's the app, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an app that cyclists and runners use as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can use it for hiking or not.
I
but
know
it's-
there's the blokes that I spoke to at Haunted Hills spoke about it. There's an app that logs your times on each individual
that's
run,
it.
and they race against each other on there all
yeah,
the time.
It's probably on Strava.
And you don't know who you're actually racing. You're just
Yeah.
racing another time on the
Yes.
clock. So
So on Strava, they have what is a KOM and a QOM, so the king and queen of the mountain.
yep,
So if you're on Strava and you know, I could probably, if I look back at my data, which I bloody love data, I am a data nerd.
Yep.
That trail Cressy, I think I've ridden it like 80 times, just that one trail.
Yep.
Right.
So it's kind of cool to know
But that's
that.
a challenge for you to do better each time.
Yeah, and it tells me, it even graphs how fast I went on every single run.
Yeah.
You know, like every trail I've ever ridden is logged.
Does that give you your best time, your standard times and all that sort of stuff?
Yep,
Or,
everything. It's got all the data you want. It's also got every single person on Strava who has ridden that trail
Yep.
ever. So it's got a leaderboard,
Yep.
and so the QOM and the KOM is the fastest person on Strava who's ever ridden that. So it's a pretty cool achievement. Some people don't like it because
Yep.
they just like to go ride and stuff. And
It's that competitive edge that sneaks in a bit once you start getting decent at doing something.
Look, I have always been competitive.
Yep.
I like the data because I actually like to look at how fast I have ridden before on that trail, and then maybe coming back from injury, or it sort of tells you where you're at fitness-wise or
Okay.
stuff. You know, I can look at it and go, oh, I rode this trail last year
Yep.
twice, and this was my time, and I've just ridden it now, and maybe I'm 30
shaved,
seconds
yeah.
behind.
Yep.
You know, maybe I'm riding it a lot slower because I'm coming back from injury, but
Yep.
it tracks that data for you,
Yep.
which I find really interesting,
Yep.
just to see where you're at fitness-wise. And, you know, maybe I've spent a lot of time on the bike and done a lot of work, and then I knock 10 seconds off a time, and that feels good because
Yep.
you're like,
Yeah.
oh, it's like a reward for the hard work that I've done.
You're
If I've been
racing
training
yourself.
and, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever competed?
I have a little bit. I've done a little bit of racing, which I find fun, but you've got to have time to do it. And look,
And
a lot
put
of
in the training for it too.
yeah. And look, I've never raced hardcore racing, like not on the downhill circuit or anything like that.
Yeah.
I've just sort of entered races that I've been available for that falls on a weekend that I don't have the kids or something
Yep.
like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've won a few races. I've got some trophies and all that kind of stuff, which is great. I've met some amazing people through it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been
It's a big community when you start. And
It is.
It's funny because the amount of hobbies that actually have a big community behind them are insane once you start actually diving into it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it could be perceived as maybe a community that might not be as friendly as people think.
Yep.
I don't know why. Not because there's anything to prove that, but again, it's just the unknown.
It's a bit of a solo sport at the same time too. You're sort of off riding by yourself. Even if you're riding in a group, you're still riding
Yeah.
for you though, aren't
Yeah,
you?
yeah. And I think it's not like one of those things where if you're a road cyclist and you go out for a ride, they often ride in larger groups. Like you can't do that mountain biking.
Yeah,
You
two
can.
or three abreast.
You
wrong
can.
side. Double white lines.
And I was a bit scared to bring that up. I don't want to hate on road cyclists.
I'm not hating on them. I just
But yeah, you can't fit that many people on a single track.
No, that's
you know?
right.
So even if you're riding with a couple of mates, you've got to go
Single
first, and then if you're smart,
you go first. I'll film it.
If you're smart, you give them a bit of time and then you go. Or if you're crazy, like some of these kids, they do the party train
Yep.
where they're right behind each
Yeah.
other. And it looks great when they're all going over these massive jumps one at a time.
spectacular
but
when
then
one stuff's up in front.
One stuff's up, it becomes a train wreck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you got to take the good with the bad.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Nah.
Got any other questions, mate?
Oh, mate, I've got heaps. I spent my youth doing this sort of stuff. One I had with my brother when he first got his driver's license. He drove me up the top of Mount Dandenong and dropped me at the Olinda shops. The race was I came down Basin Olinda Road, which is a 6K dirt road, and he drove across through Sassafras down Mountain Highway. He passed me a street or two from Mum and Dad's house coming home. I almost got him.
Yep.
So, yeah, I used to love that stuff, going fast, and now I reckon I'd probably hop on a bike and crap myself, to be honest. I wouldn't
Well,
want to.
I did listen to that last podcast that you did, and you were talking a bit about mountain biking.
Yep.
And I think you said I'd love to ride a pedal assist.
I had thought about it.
Look,
Yeah.
I can make that happen.
Oh, look. I don't like this whole analog digital bike stuff. I used to ride everywhere as a kid. And
Is that like me saying I want to try driving a Tesla?
stop it. Look, they interest me. I reckon they'd be pretty cruisy. It'd be great fun. My in-laws have got a couple of pedal assists. We're looking at trying to get one for my youngest son at the moment. Personally, I like the effort reward for me. That's what I get from riding a bike. And also that stealthy get around the back streets after having one or two in a mate's place. But that's quiet.
I'd love to have a crack, Carly.
Yeah. Well, look.
I love riding.
Tell you pump track day.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, look, pump track, like, I'm crap at them. Like, pump tracks, I'm no good. But I think, and I can't speak for everyone else, but I know my girlfriend and I, when we moved from the analog to the e-bike, that we spoke a lot about the anxiety around riding somewhere new.
Yep.
Where you don't really know, you haven't been there before.
Yep.
And, you know, like I said, we're not athletes. We get tired, and if you go somewhere and there's a massive hill and you're not fit enough and you can't ride up it, you're already anxious about that.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so maybe you're like, oh, I won't go down this trail because I don't know what it's like. And what if I can't get back? And
You can always get back. You just take your time.
We don't think like that.
No.
Right? So especially when you're out and about and you haven't ridden somewhere and you don't actually know where that trail even goes.
Yep.
You're like, we could end up.
We used to
who
do
knows?
that. We used to do that after school. Where's this one go? Don't know.
Yeah.
Let's find out.
Well, when I was that age, I probably thought that way too. But unfortunately, with age comes the understanding of consequence.
No.
Cam never grew up with that. That's the problem.
But it did.
I grew up with consequences.
Yeah.
I grew up with
In the
consequences.
home. Yeah.
The pedal assist bike took a lot of that away, and it made us more adventurous and more likely, if it was just the two of us, somewhere
it
we
makes
hadn't
it a bit
been.
more comfortable for you to
that we're not
realise that you
scared.
can.
We don't have to analyse before we go down a trail. Is this something we can do? Can we get back? Like, are we going to be stranded?
Makes perfect sense, mate.
And so all that disappears, and then you can just think about your riding.
Yep.
So that was like I guess something I didn't really think about until
you went to that assist.
Until we went to it, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I don't have to worry about whether I can get back, or, you know, I'm big on not riding on your own if you're somewhere that you've never been or you're not competent.
Yep.
Like if you're just a beginner, don't go on your own somewhere that you've never been. There's certain places that I will go and ride by myself because I feel comfortable that it's safe.
Yep.
If I have an accident, that someone will come
see.
past.
Yep. Yes.
You know, places like Listerfield, amazing.
Yep.
There's different trails there.
Lots of
You can
people
take your
through
kids
there.
there. There's
Yep.
lots of people. If something happens, you're going to be fine.
Yep.
You know, those other trails like out Sylvan Way, probably not, because there's a lot of trail network there and it's quite overgrown and there's not a ton of people around. And, you know, you might be fine. But if I've seen some pretty rough accidents, full shoulder dislocations and, you know, all that kind of stuff that even people that can't get up, you know, you guys talk about snake bites a lot.
Yep.
You know, danger noodles.
It's all those injuries that you can...
Danger noodles.
Danger noodles.
Or wiggly
Yes.
sticks.
And the nope rope.
Yep.
I have almost run over one before.
Yep.
I've seen a few. And when you're out, you know, it is one of those things, if you're by yourself,
Yep.
it's not great.
That's it.
So weighing up the options of where you're going to go is a big thing if
Yep.
you're going to go on your own.
Spot on.
But there's plenty of places you can go on your own that are quite safe.
You know how you mentioned that you don't know where that trail goes? We found one when we were younger. Banksia Trail, I think it is. It came off Basin Olinda Road. We would always ride that one track. It was very undulating, lots of fun. It's a fire break, realistically. But there's this one heartbreak hill on that track. And I think the best we ever had was somebody got a third of the way riding up it. And everybody's off, having their guts out, trying to push their
There's
mountain bikes
actually
up
one
the hill.
of those at Red Hill, and
Yep.
it's called Vomit Climb.
Vomit Climb. That sounds like fun.
On Strava, that's the name of it, because it is steep, and if you can get up it without spewing, that's great.
Red Hill's got some cracker hills too.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
that is insane.
Yeah. Heaps
Far
of
out.
places that you can go and ride, but
Heaps of places to drink wine too.
there is a lot. I've tried most of them. Bright is a wonderful
Yes.
winery area.
Yes.
But I guess something that you can use for anyone who's looking to get a bit more info on the trail before they go is Trail Forks is a great app.
Trail
Trail
Forks.
Forks.
Okay.
It'll show you the length. It'll show you what's the... I'm going to sound silly here, but you know when you look at a map and it shows you
The
with the lines,
topographics?
topographic,
Yep.
that. It has the topographic map so you can see which
gradients.
parts
Your
are
gradients,
steep,
yep.
which parts, like how long it goes, whether it goes...
Through
you know,
gully systems.
all
over
of that.
Yep.
And then it's got people who write
Reviews
updates
on it.
but
Yep.
updates on what the current trail status is and all that kind of stuff. Those things are really cool to just have a look at and go, oh, okay, this is a green, but it's also like 10Ks long.
Yep.
So I can be prepared to ride 10Ks rather than just getting 2Ks in and going, oh, I don't really know about this.
Yep.
Just a little bit of, you don't have to know everything,
Yep.
but having just a little bit of info before you choose to ride somewhere or can be helpful.
It gives you
Yeah.
the basics that
Yeah.
you can begin with.
Yeah.
Yep. And again, if you're taking your kids out and they are not really confident on bikes,
Yep.
you don't want to take them somewhere that's real full on because they're not going to want to do it again.
Yeah,
So-
there's no point taking them out
Yeah.
and scaring them.
Yes.
And then they go, nah, this is not for me and never try it ever
Yeah.
again. Yep.
Yeah. Just ease them into it.
Yep. Yeah.
Fantastic. I think we'll wrap this show up for today.
Yeah, mate, I think we've covered a heap with this one. Yet again, we've gone off and done mental health and all other things with it. So,
Parenting advice.
yeah, that's right.
Love
What
a
more,
tangent.
what more do you want?
Well, that's it.
Really?
Becoming
we're the
a very...
podcast with a bit of everything.
Oh, that's it. It's the beauty of the outdoors, mate. There's so much
Get
to do.
outdoors.
Yep.
Exactly right.
Thank you very much for coming on.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely appreciate your time there,
Yeah.
Carly. I'm glad you've joined us.
Come back anytime.
Yeah,
Talk
thank
about
you.
whatever you like.
We might hit you up for some track reviews then.
Yeah.
If Cam has a couple of weeks off, I might just get you to come in and have a chat. That might work. You can be his fill-in.
Sure. Don't ask
Easy
me
done.
about camping though.
No, see, this is the thing. You'd have to learn some.
Again, thanks for joining us, Carly.
Yeah, thank you.
Pleasure.
And that'll be it for this week.
Yeah.
And number one rule of this show,
You always say check on your mates.
check on your mates.
Cheers
all.
Cheers all.
We're the
Very-
podcast with a bit of everything.
Oh, that's it.